Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by GhostBed.com.
I don't know what to do with my hands, James. I don't know what to do with my hands.
What are you looking for?
I was looking for a pen. Occasionally during the show, I'll think of something and then kind of jot it down on the side, and then use the angles so that way people can't see it on television. I don't
sometimes
have my
we
pen.
Sometimes we let people behind the curtain, you know?
Yeah.
And then we just like put whatever's on the show on the show.
On the show.
You know what I mean? It's like he didn't have a pen.
Sure. I'm wearing shorts, you know? We had some people looking at the other building to rent it out, and they were like, "Oh, aren't you going on?" Thank you, sir.
Look
Thank you,
at
Joel.
that. Nothing compares to you.
No, we had some people looking at the other building to potentially rent it, and the guy was like, "Hey, dude, aren't you on air in like 20 minutes?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Why are you wearing shorts?" And I was like, "Oh, they only see me from here up, dude. Like, the rest of my body doesn't really matter." And he goes, "Fuck." I was like, "Oh, you watched the show?" And he goes, "Yeah, I watched the show." And he goes, "Yesterday's, man, was wild." And I was like, "Oh, it's right. And I didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Well, we do like 3 or 4 shows a day, so I forget, right?
Well,
it was
I don't
the guy
know.
who impregnated all those women. That was yesterday. He has 129 children, and he's got 23 due next year. So, you know, he's gonna cross 150. He was on the Drinking Bros last night, and that was out of control. If you hung in there, the first kind of 15 minutes was rough because I didn't know what we were getting.
Sure.
When somebody rolls in a wife beater, and
But like a really nice, I did pop on for a second and I have some thoughts, but
sure.
really nice, obviously like Miami hotel, but he is out of place in that room.
Brother. I looked at this guy and I was like, oh my God, what are we in for? And then maybe, I would say 15 to 20 minutes, and it just takes a hard right, and it just gets out of control. And it ended up being one of D'Anthony and I's favorite episodes. Like, we were dying laughing after it was over. Like, holy shit, who is this guy? And it was a blast. But when somebody just is that chill in life and like sets the camera up across the room so you can see this like amazing Miami condo that he's in, and then he's in a wife beater and, you know, some type of baggy robe-esque shorts. You're just like, what is happening in the world? Like, what am I doing with my life? And I think I even said that at one point of like, you're too chill. Like, how do I get to that point? Because I'm stressed the fuck out, son.
Right.
It's just like, you know, that's probably what I'm giving to these babies, dude. There's just less stress. You know, I know the moms are stressed, and I think the babies are going to be less stressed. And I was like, oh my God. But yeah, behind the curtain, that's kind of what it is. And then I'll wait for a camera angle to get to you, and then I'll usually jot something down.
Yeah, I will say, I think D'Anthony and him had the same personality affliction, if that makes any sense. And if anyone sees it, they'll know what I'm talking about.
Well, homeboy,
it's an honesty and
yeah.
Like would answer everything.
Oh, sure, for sure.
And
the 9/11
maybe not
thing.
The chill. Yeah, exactly. Maybe not the chillness of it. Like that, I really related to him on that, where it's like, I feel like I should be more stressed out sometimes than I am.
Oh,
okay. Like sometimes it feels like in certain situations, I'm just like, look, man.
Yeah.
Life sucks, right? And it's
Sure.
like maybe you should be a little bit more, you know, stressed about this certain situation, but it's hard to get there. And for him,
I'll
I mean, you
probably
could
die
not
first, you know?
You could not rile him up.
No.
I mean, you could not get another level out of him.
No.
So it was
Nothing.
interesting.
Yeah. And when your wages are garnished like that and you just don't care and you're like, all right, well, I guess, you know, whatever.
I love how you're just like, you kept being like, and you're not getting paid? And he's like, hey, man, I had a gardener like that one time that was like, I need you to make the check out to me personally so my wife and kids don't get it. You know what I mean? And
We
you're
used to
like,
call him the judgmental gardener.
yeah,
That guy, if you've been listening to the show for years at this point,
judgmental gardener.
we had a guy that we paid to come and do our yard. And every time at the end of his yard work, I mean, he would tell you how hard he worked, and then point out things for us to do to make our yard better. And I was like, no, I'm not doing any of those things.
What I would say every time is like, give me a price of what it would take for you to do it, and I'll pay it.
Right.
And it was always just like, well, you just gotta just go to Home Depot and get your weed cover and just kind of, if you can just get all the, and I go, what is the price for you to do it? And it was always like me with my baby being like, can you go to Home Depot and get this stuff? And then if you just go ahead and clear out these beds, I can, and I'm like, maddening. So I just go, whatever. And then he would just come up and be like, you really got, and I go, I know, Judgy, like, whatever. If you're not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. It is what it is.
Yeah. And to that point, we got the signs put up. So if you're coming to the area, got some listeners here in the studio today. If you're coming to the area, you can see a huge Drinking Bros sign from the highway.
No more like
85,000 cars
getting
pass
lost
by a day. Yeah. I mean, it's boom. Our faces are on the side of the building. All that stuff. It's finally in. Getting it to light up, though, was yet another challenge. I got a quote for $15,000 yesterday from a judgmental electrician who came over. Everybody in Austin now, and this is a really fun thing about this city, is charging a fee just to show up, right? And so the guy's name was Mr. Electric yesterday, and I was like, oh, man, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah, sounds like you've got it all dialed in, right? You're Mr. Fun. That's a bold statement, right?
Mr.
I'm
Horrific.
Mr. Electric. I do it all.
Yeah. So the service fee just to come out and look at all your shit was $249, $250.
Wait, hold on. What was this called again, Ross?
Mr. Electric.
No. What was the fee called?
Fuck. What do they call it out here?
Diagnostic?
No. Yeah. It's something like a. God damn it! I just got it on a quote for something else too, for here where it was just like.
I just need to know what to charge people in the future, because if I can make free money like this for showing up places, I'll pretend to be whatever.
And this
gas
is what's,
prices. Why?
Right, and this is what's happening. No. $250 for gas. That's fucking dumb as shit.
I drive a dually.
Because he goes, I live right down the street, and I was like, okay,
great.
He's like, so what the?
Sounds
and he's like,
fun.
well, we don't know if we're gonna get the job. I was like, and it's everybody in Austin now, so it's not just him, and they want this fee to come up. So I go, hey, he was here for about 15, 20 minutes, tops. And I go, so you're saying $15,000 to light up a sign, just one sign. I go, what's to say we just don't put a fucking spotlight in front of the goddamn thing and plug it into the wall? It would look the same. It really would, right? And homeboy goes, well, I mean, I guess you'd have to do it yourself, right? And I go, oh, you mean just plug it in and put the light in the ground and point it up at the sign? Well, yeah. And I was like, okay, awesome. So what the fuck did you do today? I mean, what was it besides give me a quote that is so astronomical for a basic bullshit 3 LED light sign of $15,000? Because I go, here's what it feels like to me. You gave me a $15,000 bill for this job that no one is ever going to pay for because it's stupid as fuck. In the meantime, I'm writing you a check for $250 for 15 minutes of work. That's amazing that you can get away with that here. I mean, that's incredible.
So I just had a thought.
Yeah.
Because Delco has said before, like, they literally, with all these new, in their mind, California coming here, like, they'll just throw out an insane price.
They'll highball you.
Yep.
Super highball you and just go. So then you're going around town and you're at least making the $250, right? And then you throw out this insane number, and then maybe you also get that, or you just move on to the next estimate.
Correct.
And you make $250.
Yes.
Ooh, interesting.
So but let's say you're just doing 5 houses
That's
a
what I
day or
mean.
5 residents. Great. You're looking at $1,200, $1,500 a day just in your fee to come and look at shit for 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
And then you bounce and it's like, oh, fuck. If you're doing that every single day, you're making a $250,000 a year without even actually doing the job
And then-
that it would be worth. And if you're doing that job, then you're going to make an extra.
That's what I mean. So the percentage-wise, if you're playing percentage game,
Yeah.
you're making enough money to, like, play that game.
And
And so when you hit it on one, when they're like,
Yep.
yeah, that's cheap. We're from California. That's amazing.
Right.
And you're like, okay, sweet.
So I had a convo with this guy. Not that that's a huge shock because I talk to people, as we discussed the other day, in the gas station, everywhere else. And I had a convo with him because I had to pull out the old checkbook over there to write a check for homeboy because he didn't take credit cards or anything else. Obviously, that was a cash or check business. And I said, hey, what are the hopes and dreams for all of this shit? Do you really want to do the sign? And he was like, well, yeah, for that fee. That's what it's gonna. I was like, and I go,
by the way, for that fee, I'll figure out how to fucking do it.
you sure would. And we'll get to that in a second because you figured out pretty much everything in this life. That's probably the last thing you could probably teach yourself is electric. Yeah. So
I might die trying to do that one though.
maybe. But so I write this check and I go with the $250 and you're just kind of walking out of here. Are you worried that Texas isn't Texas anymore? He's like, what are you talking about, man? He had the cowboy boots on and the whole bullshit with the belt and everything else. And I was like, well, I mean, obviously you look like you're from Texas, are you? And he goes, yeah, born and raised, love it here and blah, blah, blah. I was like, awesome, man. I was like, not worried about California just taking over this state. And he goes, not really. He's like, part of me is. And I go, well, the other part, though,
would love it.
Is kind of what you're doing right now. Because I go, this is what happens in California. This is what we had in California. I go, your exact business model is what we had in California. And I go, I lived there for a little bit. And I go, it's a shithole. Right. And I go, guys like you, the real Texans, I was like, you're going to make this place a shithole. It might not be the Californians. It might be you guys just taking advantage of the Californians and then accidentally turning your state into California because you're a cocksucker.
Ross, Devil's Avocado. What if their company's kind of failing because of these rising inflations and property value costs and these taxes they got to pay now? So they got to juice it up a little bit.
Look, I think Texas
with hard work and fair prices. I mean, that's all I'm saying. But.
Yeah, but I think Texas as a whole is fucked, to be honest with you. Property taxes are the highest in the nation here. There has been this drought. They keep talking about this fucking drought on the news that is never ending. We live on the surface of the sun. It was 93 degrees at baseball practice last night. I think Texas as a whole, something's either going to happen with that power grid. The property taxes aren't sustainable, or people from California will ruin it. But yeah, you're looking at 6 to 8 years of a good time in Texas yeehaw before it's all fucked, I think. But that's just from living in both states.
Good, let's go. Because I'm going to let my house appreciate in value wildly for 5 years and then get the fuck out of here.
I know. And I was just going to say that because you're here, like a guy like Bob, perfect time for it. Perfect time for it. New build, got the financing in properly, everything else. And by the time he's ready to get the fuck out of here, it'll double, triple. And that's what everyone in California is doing right now. Their houses have doubled and tripled over the years. And they're like, man, I'll go down to Texas and live for 1.5. That's fucking half what I'm paying here. And it's like, and then the cycle will continue. And then you just find states. You keep going over another state, another state, another state, until we all live in Florida. And that's kind of where I think we'll all end up, right? At one point or another, every
God
single
willing.
person. Yeah,
exactly. In Delco's
and
dreams.
if you wonder why everybody loves DeSantis, that's it. I mean, everybody is like, yeah, great, let's go. All right, fuck yeah. I mean, the hurricanes suck, but whatever, man. We're still free over here. I think that's probably the freest states we have left. And I'm being serious. Right? It's not here. It's not Texas.
For dudes, yeah.
No. Florida still got the abortion. You're good there. You're not here.
Okay. Yeah,
Texas
they got
isn't
15 weeks.
Yeah, you got 15 weeks,
there?
and that's DeSantis. So
All right, man.
you're still good to go in Florida.
Am I good to go in Florida?
Sure.
I
That's
bet.
because you don't want to know.
Let's have some daiquiris tonight. Make another baby.
'Cause
You don't want to know what kind of crimes are going to start happening in Florida when you quadruple the amount of unwanted children. Right. They need abortion.
They need it.
Yeah. They're like, Florida
Definitely
man
need it. Yeah,
can't be reproducing.
For sure.
Real quick Duncan story this morning to go along with what you're saying. Went up to the window. Drive-through.
Yep.
I was like, can I have a small coffee? And then I wanted to get the egg wrap things
Yeah.
get. 2 egg and cheese wraps, whatever. I'm sorry, I can't make any sandwiches. I'm really stressed out right now. And
Did you have a convo with her? Like, hey, what's on your mind? What's on your plate?
So
Sugar tits.
I mean, I was in a little bit of a hurry, and she was clearly very stressed out. Like I said, showed up to work, working hard. It's like her and one other one other person.
What was she
Didn't
stressed
walk
out
out.
about? Do you know?
I mean, there
Lot
were
of people?
2 cars. Duncan they can handle about 2 cars at a time.
Okay.
And then it gets overwhelming. But I was just like, caught off guard and was just like, can you handle toasting a bagel?
Sure.
Would that be okay
Yeah.
with you? I'm like talking to a friend, like, She's like, yeah, I can do that. The cream cheese is going to be on the side. I go, I would expect it. That's fine.
Is that real?
Yeah, so it was like a very weird. I almost was like, do I just not?
She's negotiating with you right
Yeah,
now.
Yeah.
but I go like, yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly.
Can I tell you a theory I have on this?
Please.
She was fucking with you.
I don't think
You
so.
think?
No,
I would do that.
No.
She sounded real. I mean,
No.
I would
honestly,
do that.
very
I
stressed.
did so
I
much
know the
shit
white.
bef-
I know the white kids at Dunkin'. Like
They weren't white.
Yeah. Oh, they weren't.
It doesn't matter. I look. She might not have been, but
These-
I'm just saying.
those
There's
weren't.
No. Austin is now an Italian market. You have to negotiate for everything.
Probably.
Yeah, she just couldn't handle doing it. And she literally told me straight up, and I had to, commend the honesty.
Yeah.
Because she could have said like shit's broken or we're out of stuff, and she was just like, I can't right now because I'm really stressed out.
I'm maybe 1 or 2 people didn't show up. And like
It
they're
did seem
super
that way.
short-staffed, and they're like,
For sure.
how do we get these people in and out? Maybe there's a massive catering order.
So we just do drinks,
Yeah.
Drinks, bagels, and donuts.
And this is the Dunkin',
bags of bacon. Yeah.
This is the Dunkin' Donuts and what I would like to now dub Hell Terra.
Hell Terra. Yeah, Poop Terra.
Yeah. Over there. No.
Dietera.
So here's
Rhea?
the real shit about Dunkin' Donuts. There's only one city in America where Dunkin' Donuts is good, and it's New York City, and that's it.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
Or
It's
Jersey,
Boston.
Boston. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that's it. And it's like, for whatever reason, they keep a tight ship. The shit is great. I used to get all my coffee in New York there. Like, it was fine. And then everywhere else in the nation, hellhole.
It's a different kind of service industry worker there. It's someone who has had 20 to 30 years of service industry experience, of entry-level service industry
It's just the
experience.
Northeast is a different breed.
It is. Dude, it 100% is. And we're not in it.
Dan, that lady
right
in the
now.
Northeast has been working at the Dunkin' Donuts for 35 years.
Yeah, but they're also used to getting shit on all.
Yeah,
the
because
time.
everyone yells at you and is threatening to stab you 24/7.
Yeah, but it's like
You need that.
in a loving way.
You need that, yes.
They're
And you
used
need that to be
to-
a great worker. Like,
They're used to the volume as well. Like I think the Bell Terra, Hell Terra, sorry, Bob, Duncan is new to the there's like they really haven't had this much business before that, right? Like they were Dunkin' Donuts in Dripping Springs. Like I don't think it ever got super busy.
And now
so
it's
they're just
super
not
popular.
used-
There's probably a line around the
Right.
window, and they're like, we can't do this. We make $8 an hour.
I'm really stressed out. I go, oh dang, okay.
yeah.
Thank you for telling me the truth. What can you? I almost was just like, what do you feel comfortable making? Honestly.
And then the other fun, flirty thing about Texas is we're right against the border. So we get all this weird shit that I've never really seen or encountered before.
Like what?
Drug pumpkins was the
Oh,
new
sorry.
one
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
And this is all the fun stuff about Texas.
Pumpkin
And
spice,
And
you know
I
what
was
I'm
like, yeah, why not? I was like, what the fuck is this? So first it was fentanyl. We talked about that a few weeks ago. And then there's all these moms that are they went to Washington, D.C., talking about all the fentanyl coming over the border because we have no border down here, and it's just kind of a free-for-all and a fuck-all. God bless the fucking border patrol that is there trying to deal with that shit. We had one on the show, a week and a half ago as Drinking Bro of the Week, and it was just like, it is awful. And with that, now they're trying to smuggle in drugs via pumpkins right now. Bob, if you could bring up this pumpkin, I think they put 40 pounds of meth inside the pumpkin.
See, they're wrong. That's their problems. They're throwing it off. That's too heavy of a pumpkin. That would have been an award-winning pumpkin.
It's not. So I looked it up.
looks
This
like a
year's
squash.
hang on. This year's winner, Giorgio, 2,625 pounds was the winner of the pumpkin.
Holy, that is a Lizzo-sized pumpkin.
Oh, it's massive, and we'll show a
thought
picture of
that
that
was
soon.
in Italy.
But type in the drug pumpkin. It was on TMZ. I read it this morning, and I was
kind of
like,
looks
holy
like
shit.
a butternut squash, but it's just like a long.
It's a long,
Pumpkin.
weird, skinny pumpkin. If you just want to, yeah,
There you go.
there we go, right there. Look at that thing.
And so
this is a 44 pounder they cracked open. That looks
the
like a
meth-
normal.
44 pounds.
It
of
looks
meth.
like the meth leaked into it.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
looks like it's on meth.
It's on
a
meth. Look at
meth
those
It is.
teeth. Look at those
Pumpkin.
teeth. Look at those seeds falling out.
And that's probably how they got caught, right? Was, seeds were falling out like teeth, and they were like, wait a minute.
Is
Well,
it a condom?
Here's probably how they.
I believe, yeah, that they're stuffed in, the meth is stuffed
Here's
in condoms.
probably how they get caught. Like, hard to seal a pumpkin back up, right? Like, it has to be pretty seamless, or like some kind of packaging
Yeah.
that you
Well,
can
here's
put.
what I thought. You drill a hole, a small hole, and then you cork it, and you paint over top of it. So it's little arts and crafts.
Now, look, I don't know what they did. I guess
I mean, they obviously broke this open to get the drugs out, but like I wanted to see it,
maybe
while it
the
was closed.
bottom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the bottom came out or the sides. Who knows? Like Jesse was saying, the danger in pumpkins, and this happens every Halloween, you carve them. Once you carve them and pop that top, those
It's a
things are good for
quick-
about 3 days.
Yeah.
And then they melt and stink, and then you have 1,000 fruit flies, and you got to get them shits out of there real quick
For sure.
or it's over. There's no like fun, flirty pumpkin afterlife where you're like, oh man, I can just keep it up for a couple more weeks because Halloween is so fun.
Right.
I wish there was, but
It's like
there,
a Christmas
there
tree,
isn't.
yeah.
Also, hiding it in things that, because like they're always ask you, do you have like fruit, vegetable, whatever that you're bringing over?
Yeah.
So like hiding it in agriculture type stuff.
Very dumb.
It's exactly
Not the
like it's
best
already
idea.
going to be looked at
Yeah.
and examined.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something like, a bunch of fucking baby dolls, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
like
yeah.
coffee or whatever it may be, then it's kind of like, all right. I mean, we're not going to open up every single one of these things, whatever. But yeah, just like, do you have anything to declare, whatever? Are you bringing over any,
Yeah.
oranges or pumpkins? Yeah. All right. Let's just take a look at them really quick. What the fuck?
Whoa! It's 44
So it
pounds
was
of meth.
dumb. It was dumb anyways. Although it is spooky season, so maybe they were thinking that it would be like, oh yeah, of course you're bringing pumpkins over.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
meth is something that'll keep the party going for a little bit, because we all love Halloween parties.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as bad as fentanyl, at least. It's just the step above it. Hard to say which is number 2 above fentanyl, heroin or meth. But it's right there. At least you'll stay up that
Right.
night and enjoy the party a little bit more.
Right.
Woo! And then you'll stay up for the subsequent 2 and 3 days afterwards.
It'll be
But
super spooky after that.
whatever, man. That's meth. And I'm sorry about it. A bunch of people saying they didn't get notifications. I didn't either. So I'm with you there as far as the YouTube is concerned. I think it's you. I think
Me?
you're dangerous. Yes.
Why?
I think you are dangerous for the world.
Why?
And I don't know. It's just kind of a vibe you give off, about your life.
What are you talking about?
I think you're physically too dangerous for YouTube, where they just don't know what to do. Are you the hottest podcaster there is?
no.
Who?
No.
Yep, exactly.
No. Call her daddy, Sophia F.
She's not on YouTube.
They're on YouTube, aren't
No,
they?
Spotify deal.
She was.
Spotify deal. Dog.
Barstool has a lot of girl podcasts.
Yeah, they're not cute. They're good though. I will say this: the shows are
They
getting
always
better.
have a cute one on there.
Here's why: their shows are getting better female-wise because they're getting like real girls finally, instead of like I can't put that dick in my mouth.
Oh no, they're saying that.
No. But they're
It's
saying
just
like
more
a
real,
yo,
yeah.
I'm putting like fuck that dude. I'm sucking dick out of power now, and you're just like, oh,
Right.
all right. But they're
Right.
kind of sixes, 6s or 7s, and you're just like, all right, now we're getting somewhere. At least the personalities are great, right? So you're not gonna get. So I think you're probably the top of the charts, and they don't know what to do with this show on YouTube, where they're like, what the fuck? Because I told you we did have that test, right, within YouTube, and they said the girl, her face tested well in the thumbnails.
Big surprise though, it could have been
the-
any girl's face.
Sure
But
couldn't. Sure couldn't,
look.
James. Sure couldn't. And I want to give you some shine. I heard you on somebody else's podcast today. You carry it. You carry these goddamn things.
Thanks, man.
Whenever you go on, you carry the goddamn things. You're the best. You do a lot of things behind the scenes that nobody really knows about. We'll talk about one more today because this is next to impossible. Bob, put up the picture for the romance novel for dudes show.
It's called Advice Not Taken with Jamie Kilstein, by the way, but go ahead.
Oh, you're the one you're on today?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So this one, by the way, pop that pic on screen. There you go. Got to number 6 in the world yesterday. So I want to thank you guys for downloading it and rating it and all that stuff. Not number 1, so you obviously could have done better, and I'm disappointed in you because there's no going back. That's as high as you can get on these goddamn things.
You can't come up from 6. It only goes down from 6.
I know. But the reason I wanted to praise you is I know I've gotten a ton of messages how much you guys loved it, and it's fully scored. It's got Foley, sound effects, like all across the board. Jessie did that. She is very, very talented and self-taught as well. And that's why earlier when I was talking about the electrical, I'm starting to get to a lot of things where I'm like, hey, can't you just do this? Because you kind of do everything else great. So maybe you could go out and do the electrical.
I'll give it a look-see. I'll definitely need a dude with me. Can't do anything by myself. But I'll give it a look-see. Can't be up on a ladder by myself. Not allowed.
That fucking guy yesterday. My God, dude. Turned on the electrical in that other building, and I was like, "Hey, dude, the lights aren't working." This is another electric. This is actually Austin's power unit. It was a Pedernales Electric PEC, whatever it is. Yeah.
Perd is that's not Austin. That's Hayes County.
Okay.
Oh, that's probably why.
We're not in Hayes over here, are we? We're in Travis. So why they're here, who knows? Homeboy gets on the phone yesterday. I was like, hey, dude, this is the 3rd time I've called. The electricity's still on. Man, you're going to want to head that breaker out back. I was like, what? What am I doing out back? What is it?
Another theory, but go ahead.
Yep. So the breaker is just a switch that you flick on. I was like, great. When I paid the company to turn on the electricity, you were supposed to turn it on. Like, there's a million boxes all over this goddamn property. I don't know where the breaker is. Mm-hmm. He sent me to 3 incorrect ones. And finally, I was just like, look, I'll just try every box since you're not going to help at all. And that's fine. I don't really give a shit. But I go, just out of curiosity, why can't you do? I mean, if it's a switch and you're the electrician and you're paying, we're doing the whole thing with you guys and everything else. Why can't you do it? Oh, man, that's not my job description. I was like, oh, it's not. So when you call the electric company to turn on the electricity, turning it on isn't part of your job description.
Right, Russ. So let me break this down. See, there is the electric company who provides the electricity, and they have people who work for them, but those aren't actually electricians.
Yep.
Yeah, they literally just like turn the meter on or whatever, you know?
And I think they can actually do that from a remote location.
Usually, unless the building's very old.
So, George, there was one switch in one of these boxes. We're on like 3 acres here, and I found it on my own.
Yeah.
And I hung up the phone, and then I looked at all the because there's some nice
tons of switches
everywhere, and then I looked for the highest place in the building that I could hang myself, and I was like, man, that CrossFit rope is still there.
It is. But you want to go for the bar. One, that rope is thick, it's coarse, it's gonna scrape the neck. You want something nice, like a leather or a suede, a nice soft suede, around there.
Yeah.
And you want it low because you don't want it to break very quickly. You want it to just asphyxiate, and that way you can get that nice little jerk off beforehand.
Yeah,
You time it exactly right.
Yeah.
It does sound like a belt.
Very NXX-ish. No, I don't think a belt would do it. I don't think a belt would do it. Giorgio's correct. You're going to need something longer, and that suede sounds nice.
One more theory.
Go ahead.
So I think before all of us little pretty boys moved over here, right? Mm-hmm. I think it was more like definitely in Dripping Springs where it was like a dude was trying to like do something to his house, right? Like he was doing it and then just needed somebody to come and kind of help, right?
Right.
So it wasn't necessarily that they had to come and like teach someone what a fuse box, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's maybe a different vibe.
I know, but here's the thing.
And there's a lot of people that are like that now.
I know what a fuse box is, but when you have a property of this size, I was like, hey, there's like 90 boxes. Like, why couldn't you do it? It's just a switch. It was literally just a switch, and then just going around and doing it because we paid the money.
Right.
To get the electricity turned on, and you couldn't. No, not part of my job description. That, I think, sums up America. It's just not part of my job description anymore. And it takes 38 people to do one job, and then we're paying each one of them a fee to come and not do shit. And it feels like Minions. And eventually, there's going to be a Gru who rises up and takes over all of us. And I'm kind of rooting at this point for some type of queen sitch, like the crown, where a king reigns this land, and then we all are kind of underneath him, and everybody has to work, or they get beheaded. And that's what I'm hoping for personally.
I just think we're getting farther and farther away from the generation that tried to do fix stuff themselves, knew how to do stuff, knew about whatever. We're getting farther and farther away from that because it's like you can pay someone to do all of that. And if you have the money, you'll never know how to do it, right? And I'm not just talking about you. I'm just saying, like, as a whole, we're getting farther and farther away from, like, the dad fixing the fucking toilet.
I think as a whole, we need I don't think so. I think we need government to end, and we need a king. We need a king to rule over everyone. And then that way, if you don't do your job properly, you get your head chopped off in a square in front of everybody else, and you get the lettuce thrown at people. It's all the shit you guys watch in Game of Thrones, right? They're just killing people for not doing their job correctly.
Recently, one dude just kind of spoke out of turn.
Yep.
And he just got his head, like, it cut in half, not even off.
Yeah.
Like, just in half.
And
Spoiler.
that's what, no spoilers. It's great. I don't watch it. I'm never going to watch the goddamn thing.
That might have been in the opening credits. I mean,
okay.
Yeah. So I think we're fine, but then people have responsibility, pride in their work again, and it's because you're worried about getting your head split open within 15 seconds.
Spoiler alert, there is a giant uprising.
Oh, of the people?
Okay.
The people?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
Always.
Someone else wants to take power.
Yeah, there always is.
But if you have everybody working together, right? And I've heard this story a million times about 9/11, where everybody was like, man, the best day in this country's history was 9/12 of everybody was friendly to each other. Everybody was helping each other out, working, all this other stuff, like helping each other because something traumatic had just happened to the country, right? And it's true. Like everybody who says that statement, you're like, was it really? And then you go back and think about that day.
Ask Muslims in the country, but yeah, for sure.
Well, sorry, wrong place, wrong time.
I had like a pop quiz 512. It was unexpected.
On 9/12, you mean?
Yeah.
They made you do it?
I had a pop quiz, yeah.
What was it? Was it math?
It was like social studies, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
This explains a lot.
Sure does.
Yeah.
Sure does. Because Delco wasn't helping anybody that day, you know?
I
bet
half
you
my
failed
class
it.
was there,
I bet, I bet you failed. Why'd you even go to school?
Because my parents weren't going to watch me.
Yeah.
Dan needed to support his classmates in a hard time like that. That was 9/12.
Yeah.
Dan was coming together as a country and a nation.
His parents are hardworking people, and they had to go to fucking work.
Had to go to work.
Yeah.
Philly
sure did.
stood together, and Philly stood
Sorry.
strong on 9/12.
Yeah.
Which is why Philly has like great Dunkin' Donuts and shit like that, and we don't. We've got kids who are stressed out. So, I'm sure homegirls going home tonight with spray paint, just dyeing it blue, looking in the mirror, watching the Sinead O'Connor doc.
Well, she's gonna be watching that game
on HBO. You know, that's kind of where we're at.
Right.
You and I flipped that goddamn thing on.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer was awesome.
I think we all fell in love with the idea that that song was just great, and we just wanted to hear it.
Yeah. And I
And
wanted to, like, see,
What her life was.
a little bit more behind, which, it was just slow. It was slow moving,
We got about 40 minutes in and still didn't
Yeah.
see the song. Nothing compares to you, and we
Right.
were pissed off about it. And
Right.
we
Or
kinda
the
flipped it
SNL
off.
thing or the backlash of that. So I'm like, dang, like, how deep are we going to go?
Well, here's the problem I think with
With
her is
Sinead.
that song was so huge. That was the song that she was playing. So everything revolved around that song.
Yeah.
So I think with a doc, when you're trying to stretch it out to an hour and a half and it's just based on one song, you really got to fucking slow it down. Show the childhood years where she's growing up in Ireland and can barely speak like that. And you're just like, all right, cool. Can we get to the song? Because the song is what I wanted to hear. And then
I mean, look, she was a badass.
At
She
one point.
was the type of like,
Yeah.
activist that like had one cause and went fucking hard.
oh, yeah.
And, eventually got,
It worked out for her.
Yeah.
I think the last time I saw her, she was eating out of a trash can, talking to herself on the street.
no.
Dead serious. Pull up Sinead O'Connor today. I believe she had some crazy homeless breakdown or something like that, and they had to commit her somewhere. I'm dead serious. Not that anybody's shocked by that, but I'm not at least. But that's what I wanted to see. Of all right, great. Let's start with the song. Nothing compares to you. Let's maybe start with Prince's original version, and then the story of how Prince gave her the song. And then go through the breakdown of everything else. And yeah, I think she's got a child, right, Bob?
A dead one.
That's right. Yeah.
Her
Yeah.
17-year-old kid died.
Yeah.
All right, she can eat out of trash cans.
And
mean, my
this is
fucking
her
Lord.
around the time of the death. So
Yep.
she was still performing. She canceled a tour in 2022.
Yeah.
So she was still going, and then her kid died, and I guess she just doesn't want to work, you know?
I mean, I don't know what's wrong with her. I guess a mental break is fucking
No, but it was
totally warranted.
in all sincerity, I think it was before that, and I think that's what had something to do with the kid.
Huh?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
She was a bad mom, wasn't there, was going through mental breakdowns or something else. How did the kid die, Bob? I forget.
I'm reading this right now.
Fact check all of that before we put it out there.
Before I say suicide, like as I read it, I remember reading it, but I don't remember if it was hers or another.
I think it was
celebrity's
suicide.
Kid. Yeah.
He was on suicide watch in an Irish hospital, escaped, and then killed himself.
Yeah, because the mom, she kept making these crazy like statements, like keep going on, but the media just stopped covering it at a certain point where it was just like, all right, great, this isn't 2000 or what year did that song come out?
In the 90s.
Yeah.
Like the mid-90s.
So, I mean, it's been a while, and it was just like, great, we don't really care about your causes unless you start dropping bangers again.
Her causes were over. It was like for Ireland and British rule, like it had ended.
Yeah.
No, well,
Or something. Maybe it was Northern Ireland.
And then the
it
Pope,
was
didn't
the
she?
sexual allegations that were coming against, and nobody was listening, which is very true, and actually eventually got, I don't know, I mean, it was from her and many other people speaking out, right? But that was her cause.
But as a child, with Sinead O'Connor being your mom, that's going to be a rough life from the get-go, right?
Sure.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know.
Maybe. Any famous child kind of has it a little tough, I guess.
She was fucking out to lunch. I mean, this was,
Yeah, so's Jada Smith.
I know. And hey, by the way, yes,
Yeah.
great point, Bob, because I think those kids, that something is similar is going to happen with those kids in the future. Like, I mean, what are we doing there? You know, one of them I think I was listening to Bert Kreischer's show, and he was the one, he kept talking about it. I love Bert, by the way. Known him for fucking ever. But he was talking about that. Who was the Karate Kid? What's his name? Jaden.
Yes.
Was dating Tyler, the Creator. And I was like, my mind was blown. And he said it like 3 times in the same episode. And I was like, what? I was like, how would he know that? I guess and then he went on to tell the story. Will Smith was the one that found Bert and got him to move to Los Angeles to do this pilot. And I had no idea. I'd never heard that story before. It was pretty wild.
That was a rumor, I thought. I heard that a couple years ago.
He confirmed it.
Okay. That
He
they like
confirmed
hooked
it.
up or
Yep.
something.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing, but I think with, you're Will Smith and you have this image and you're the fucking dude and the action star and the wife and Tupac and all that other shit, like, and then your life just kind of turns to shambles for everything else that's going on, and now you have this gay son that's with Tyler, the Creator. He's pretty aggressive in his fucking content, and that is not the family image they usually project. So.
I don't think Jaden Smith's gay.
They're both bi, I think.
I think Jaden Smith has more of a Jared Leto situation.
Yeah.
Oh, you think Jared Leto fucks dudes?
A hole's a hole, absolutely.
I think
Really?
I think
Yeah.
Jared Leto thinks he transcends all sexuality and labels, and I think that Jaden Smith also thinks that, and he will make love to
It's more
whatever. Or
narcissistic
it's pure
than-
just narcissism of I'm gonna fuck anything or get fucked by anything that I want.
Yeah.
It's just him eating,
Okay.
eating and eating and eating and eating and eating.
Yeah.
Now we're getting somewhere, brother.
The most
What a fucking
hedonistic.
king. Let's have
Yeah.
a king again. Let's have a king in this country,
Okay.
You can do that shit.
Well, this is more of just like a
lot.
lot of people thinking they're king, you know?
Yeah, but we
yeah.
need one to be like, hey, you're a dumb actor. You were dumb. You shut your mouth or we chop your head off in Times Square. That would be awesome. I think that's what
Jaden
we
Smith
need
being
to.
king.
Because you don't realize how
Yeah.
dumb you are. Like, as an actor, you think you're important, right? Until you end up doing something else like producing or directing, and then you look at it and you're like, oh, fuck. We were all a pain in the ass, and like, this is stupid. Why did I think I was important then? And unless you have a king on board who realizes that, because weren't they dressing up midgets, Bob, to like juggle and shit and kind of entertain them?
They're actors, Ross.
I know, but they were little people, right? They were LPs. And that was a fun thing.
What is this?
Yeah,
We're getting in the weeds.
I want to say
we are
one of
getting
the
in the weeds.
One of
Oh
the
no. We're exactly
Go
where we
ahead.
need to be.
Go ahead, Bob. Sorry.
Bobathy? Did his mic die?
No, I'm looking him up. There's a famous jester who
Yes,
was
a court jester.
who
Yeah.
was a midget or whatever. I forget for who though. We did. He was in an episode we did for famous jesters, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it
I don't
was-
know what you're referencing actually, so I don't know. Could be.
Was it on Softcore History?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and you don't know your own show?
Famous.
No, I don't know what he's actually
jesters.
They've
saying.
done a lot of
A
episodes.
famous gesture on what? What did he do?
So there was a famous court jester, Sir Geoffrey Hudson,
Yes.
aka Lord Minimus.
Yep.
Great name.
Great name.
Great name.
Yeah, I don't think this is even the one though. There's a lot.
All
There were
right,
a lot
what are
of
you
dwarves.
saying though?
Pop up a picture.
just talking
so they used to
about
dress up
olden
these
times.
dwarves to dance, sing, entertain, act out little plays and things like that.
Sure.
And that was kind of the job, but it was
Yes.
it was very low paying. You knew who and what you did, and then you got the fuck out of there. Like they made you scurry off. Like as soon as the play was done, you were out of there. They wanted you out of the sights or whatever. And then maybe a king would keep one of them and let him drink out of a goblet of wine just to have a good time and shit like that.
They're
I think
dangerous.
if you
though.
weren't funny,
They are
they
dangerous.
would kill you.
Correct.
right?
They are
And-
dangerous because there was a king that actually tripped over his court jester and fell out a window and died.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, you got to look out for that.
Right.
Very Eric Clapton-y, but
They're just all over.
all over the place, right?
So this is this guy, I believe.
there he is. Look at this little fucker. Let's go.
That's not
Bring
a
it back,
child.
dude. Nope, that's not a child.
Okay.
That is a 38-year-old man
Okay.
who is very funny.
Looks hilarious.
Doesn't he?
Yeah.
Just appearance alone. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to do a lot. You kind of just have to dance with that
He looks
body.
like a young
Sure.
Warwick Davis.
That guy, if he
Oh,
was
yes.
if he was alive
My
today,
boyfriend.
that would be the biggest star on TikTok right now. Without
Yeah,
a
for
doubt.
sure, for
Number
sure,
one with a
for
bullet.
sure.
And
Number one with
why
a
are you
bullet.
hating?
I'm not hating at all. I'm saying we need to go back this time. So if you have a Jaden Smith or somebody like that, it's like, man, again, I know you thought you were important in this, but here's how it used to be with like kind of actors and all this other stuff. Like you either make me laugh or you die.
Ross, we've been
Check
pro
it out.
LP for a while.
We also have our version of this on Instagram, and his name's Hezbollah.
Exactly. Massively famous. I love the guy. I watched his Sunday conversation with Caleb Presley. Big fan of Caleb Presley, by the way.
I think he pulled a knife on Caleb Presley, didn't he?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Big fan of Caleb Presley. I don't know if they flew to Russia or if he flew here, but it was wild. And like, dude, I was endlessly entertained. And that guy is a meme for everything. Like
I
every
think they met him
single
in
thing.
Dubai.
Oh, did they really? Was that the kind of the happy in between? The fact that Caleb Presley had to fly to Dubai for that interview is amazing.
Had to.
Had to.
Yeah, he would do it again.
Yes. It was gangbuster
He's
ratings.
he's a grifter.
Who?
Caleb.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he travels. He's a little Rolling Stone.
It's great though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his whole shit.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's fine. Like, yeah, it's a blast. I'm all in for that.
Right.
But yeah, the fact that they got him out there, that's the modern day this guy, and he's everywhere, and it's awesome. But if he wasn't awesome, then once you get real aggressive, then it's kind of over for you.
The modern day this guy.
Yeah. What's his name? What's this little fuck's name?
Lord Minimus.
Lord Minimus.
Lord
How do you
Minimus.
forget that name?
I know.
For a little person.
My God,
Fucking
dude.
great.
Look at that guy. Look at him. Look at that tiny little body. Shit.
Yeah.
If we could put him on a podcast,
Oof.
gangbuster ratings. You think YouTube wouldn't send a notification of that guy's show going live? Not a prayer.
Right.
Yeah,
But
you'd
they
get
have
that.
to.
You'd
YouTube
get an
also
hour in
support
advance.
LPs.
Oh yeah. Is there any midget podcasts? We have any little podcasts out there?
Little cast.
It's like porn, man. If you think of it, it's there.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Podcasting
Of
even more
course
so than
they-
porn now.
yeah,
honestly.
right.
Willowcast is the name of it.
You don't think Dink has a
Willowcast?
pod?
Who?
Dinklage?
No, he doesn't have a podcast.
No.
He
He
doesn't. He's a cocksucker.
The dink,
Yeah,
dude.
the dink's an asshole. Sorry. Whatever, dude.
Little
Is he, or
little
is he just a
dinky two
thespian?
shoes.
He's a dick.
What?
Is he just really committed to the art? Like, is he just a thespian? Like,
yeah, he's just a very annoying. He's like any other super annoying actor.
Yeah. I used to like him, and now I hate him.
We just want him to not be that way because he's a little person and he defies all, preconceived notions.
Yeah.
Well, he
Yeah.
played such a lovable person on Game of Thrones, like maybe the most lovable character in Game of Thrones, that you want him to be that way in real life a little bit.
Oh,
But he's
got
not.
it, got
He's
it, got
the
it.
opposite
Yeah,
of
he's-
Tyrion in real life.
Yeah. Yeah,
He's
Wait,
like,
was he lovable in Game of Thrones?
yeah,
Or are
everybody
you
loved
being
him.
sarcastic?
no, he was the best character. Everyone loved him.
Everybody loved him. He won all of the Emmys and
See, that's the problem.
Golden Globes and all the things.
And then people come up to you and they're like, "Hey," and you're like, and then he's a dick.
Yeah, like imagine
like,
if
"Ugh."
in real life Neil Patrick Harris was like, "Get your fucking hands off
Yeah,
of me!
yeah,
Don't
yeah.
look at me!"
So
Right,
he
right.
did. He did that, and I think he was out with his kid, and he had a blow up with the fucking paparazzi or whatever, and it was just like, man, we should be fortunate. Ask this little ask Minimus.
I gotta say this.
Go ahead.
There's a show called Midget Cast.
Oh, literally midget cast.
Yes.
There we go. I knew I knew it had to be there.
Had to be.
So who's on this thing? And are the episodes shorter? Nailed it.
Is it?
Nailed it.
Is it the famous ones or is it people we don't know?
I don't know. I looked up Little Person podcast, and at first I got just a bunch of stories and podcasts for kids, like little stories was what came up, and then I just found this one that said Midget Cast. There
Perfect.
hasn't been an episode for 3 years, but there looks like to be a good 30 to 40 episodes.
Okay. Well,
Okay,
look,
well.
the lifespan for a little person is not long.
They gave it a go.
So maybe one of them kicked out. Somebody in the chat here is saying Jared loved the dank. He did. I don't know if he had the same vibe I do. He'll be here tomorrow, so we'll ask him on tomorrow's show. But yeah, dude, be grateful, Peter Dinklage. And they tried. They really tried. Like Hollywood is really trying now to give people their own movies and things. Bros, bombs. They gave the Dank his first leading man role in Cyrano. Mm-hmm. Made about $40.
Right.
And yeah, dude, just let's be grateful, Dink. That's all I'm saying. Be grateful.
The dank.
Sometimes
I
you
don't
have a
think-
role like Game of Thrones that is amazing, but the rest of it could
don't-
literally be anyone.
I don't think Cyrano was intended to make more than $40. It's Cyrano.
I
Yeah.
understand that.
It's not gonna be
Why spend the money on that? I just don't get
I
it.
thought it was his movie.
What do you mean?
Oh, like
I thought he produced it or
and
wrote
stuff?
it or something.
Yeah, but somebody financed
It's
it.
just a passion
Who's
project.
writing that check? Look, I get it. A period piece about Cyrano. Do you know how fucking expensive that is for a period piece?
Some sort of foundation
My God.
somewhere was endowed.
Sure was nuts. Sure was nuts.
It's like
That is not a
some
movie you're
New
making this life.
York, coalition.
Even
for-
so,
From the
great
arts.
example.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But here's the thing. Great example recently of trying to get one of those movies made of like a time period piece that nobody's going to see or give a shit about was Macbeth, and they had to get Denzel Washington and Kate Blanchett.
That also was just shot like ridiculously. That was some sort of like performance art thing.
Sure
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah,
And huge director. Was it the Coen brothers who did it or somebody like that?
Yeah, it was.
It was, yeah. So with that, you had to make it with the best directors, probably one of the best male actors of our generation, best female actor of our generation, right? I hate Meryl Streep. I think it's Kate Blanchett for me.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm blanching all over myself.
Here, Ross, let me ask you a question while you're on this tangent. Is if you were offered Macbeth, would you do it this way? Because you're listing the best people and the best this and the best that, because we're thinking we're going to get the best Macbeth.
Yep.
This was just some weird blended suicide concoction of people that they just dumped in a blender, and you just got something out of it. This can't be the most perfect form of Macbeth ever like represented on film.
No. So what you have to do for a movie like Macbeth, when you take that out to get financing for it, is the first question they're going to ask is who are the two leads and how do we sell the poster around the world and everything else and just recoup the money. I don't think any part of them thought that would be a box office breakout. They thought, let's win a couple Oscars, let's get this on Netflix, get a nice check out of them, and we got to make the movie we wanted to make, and we'll probably break even on it. But the only two people who could sell that film were probably Denzel and Kate Blanchett and the Coen brothers. And that's a big, big ask. Because on the flip side of that, you have something that happened over the weekend with Amsterdam, where you have one of the best directors there is, Christian Bale, who is maybe the greatest now that Daniel Day-Lewis is retired. Probably.
Sure.
It's got to be Bale, right?
Okay.
He's probably number one now that DDL is gone. That is going to lose $90 million because they spent a fuck ton on that movie, and it's a period piece and all that other stuff. Like, I know the Macbeth budget was under 15, so yeah,
How'd you feel about Green Knight?
never even heard of it.
Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, Chaucer, that came out 2021,
Nope.
huge box office
Yeah,
success.
that should be your answer right there. Never heard of it.
Never. I heard.
What was the numbers on it?
I think it was 19 million in the box office.
It was A24, right?
Total 19 million.
A24.
Yeah, yeah. So A24 is kind of like what's that girl? God damn it, Skydance is her brother. Whatever. We're probably getting too deep here and under fucking belly Hollywood shit, but they make a bunch of great movies. If they're not successful, that company won't last. Same with Neon. But whatever, dude. You know, we're talking about drug pumpkins, dude.
Yeah.
Now
What?
Macbeth.
What?
I want a fucking king in office. Not independent films. You think the king is going to allow that to go on? No, he's not going to have any of this shit. He wants blow 'em ups, make 'em ups, all of that stuff.
Just more Michael Bay.
Yes, dude. He wants the fucking 90th Fast and Furious. That's what a king would want for this country. Let's rally around Vin Diesel and make that whole goddamn
Can we
thing
finally
happen.
get the Rock, Vin Diesel, Jason Statham three-way fight?
No. I mean, you know their contracts. There was a number of punches each of them had to have. Like,
Yeah, and they all hate each other. So
all
like, I
hate each
actually
other in
want
real
them to
life.
like be in a fight in a scene.
yeah.
I think I might check out a Don't Worry, Darling.
I actually want to see that too.
Right?
And I told you I got caught up in Harry
Anybody
Styles
else?
yesterday.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Want to see it?
I want to see it.
I'm excited.
Right?
The box office numbers are pretty good too, by the way. But I got caught up in Harry Styles. Like I'm all in on Harry Styles. I finally gave in to that fucking new album and the song. It's always the same as it was. Whatever it is after the yep 10,000th time I heard it. I found myself turning it up.
Sure.
In the car,
Yep.
singing along to the very end, and then at the end of it, it was like accidentally listening to like a Christian rock band song, where at the end you're like, "Oh man, the whole song was about Jesus," and then you finally said it, and He shed His life on me, and you're like, "Fuck, man!"
Yeah.
I was in it, man. And then we had to. That's the thing. When it got to the Harry line, Harry, you're no good alone. I was like, "Oh fuck,
Yeah.
fuck
Yeah.
it." I love Harry Styles.
Yeah.
And I was in, and I get it, and he can do no wrong. Just get out of the Olivia Wilde
Your
bullshit and
Lord.
go off to somebody else. Yeah.
Your Lord and Savior.
Harry Styles is
He
great.
He can go down that road a little bit longer, don't you think?
Well, with Olivia Wilde, I don't know. I don't want to see any pics like with him trying to josh around with the 3 kids of hers. You know, it's not don't. Let's just be cool, Harry. You know,
He doesn't.
I know he doesn't. And is that part of it? Like, do they have that combo?
Yeah, I think it's like I'm with my kids at this time, and when I'm not, you and I can go out and
Bang.
fucking party.
Dude, you can't bring him around the kids.
No,
Ever.
God.
Even if they get married, ever.
No.
Hi, kids. Do you love your dad?
I mean, I think that
Well,
was
your mum
part.
doesn't, and I'm proof.
Right. Do you want to go to the set of Ted Lasso, or do you want to go to a fucking Harry
Styles concert. Yeah.
I think that might have been even probably part of that custody shit, right? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that there's something which you can do is be like, certain people cannot be around my kids.
Really?
Unless they're married.
I didn't know that.
You can definitely put that in. I don't know if it was, but you know, the
Yeesh.
custody was pretty contentious, and I wonder why, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're not. It's like weekend fun time, and then she goes back to, and that's when people are like, "Oh, they broke up." It's like, no, she's with her kids this couple weeks or whatever. He's not around. Then she pops up at a concert, stays out all night, and you're like, "Oh, okay." Not
Harry,
your
you're
week
no
with the
good
kids.
alone.
Yeah.
I heard the song, Harry, where are you? Where the fuck are you? I'm with my 3 kids.
Right.
Oh, I can't have that, love. I can't
No,
have that, love. Call me when they're at Jason's.
Right. Basically.
Sudeikis.
Basically,
we'll get
yeah.
back together.
Yeah.
Man, but I'm in, and I got tricked. Same way with Drake. You know, after the 10,000th time, I'm like, all right, great.
Of what?
And I miss, and I wish, and I wish, and I wish, and I wish it on me. Every Drake song after like the 10,000th time, I'm like, all right, I like it, and I'm in. Except for the last album, that was just awful, and there was nothing redeeming about it whatsoever. And I think he's fucked. I think Drake is fucked.
Drizzy's fine.
No.
Drizzy could have 3 bad albums and then come back with a banger.
I think Pusha T ended his life, and he's never been good since. And it's sad. It makes me sad.
He did go at him. I mean, you don't really want to come at Pusha like that, though.
Yeah, because we got Lázaro Lopez in the studio here today.
What up, dog?
Are you just hanging a party? You just partying today? You off?
Oh no, I got work. I'm here to buy some seltzers.
Oh, you're here to buy some? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Shit.
Well, this is for you because, look, actually, can you pop up behind me? This would be great because you would never picture this in 1 million years in your entire life, and it's a perfect segue, right?
Okay.
So last row, come behind me here on screen. There it is, last row Lopez, everybody.
He comes correct every fucking time.
It's a lifestyle.
He doesn't enter the building without coming completely correct.
Yeah, if you think it's a bit,
Yep.
it's a
No, it's
lifestyle that
real.
he lives, and it's real, and like he's just here to hang. But he is also this guy that you're seeing on your television right now around the world is the biggest Taylor Swift fan that I've ever met in my entire life.
Yes.
True or false? It is
Yeah,
true.
yes, it's
you
true.
know the words to every song. Delco, everybody who's gotten in a car with you says the same thing, that it is Taylor Swift on blast as
love
high
it
as it will go.
so
And you know
much.
every single word to every single Taylor Swift song.
got the pre-ordered album right now.
Yeah, you got the
Dude,
pre-ordered
I know, I'm
album.
excited for that.
Which is where my segue is going.
Right.
She's it. That's the last one left. I'm
Right.
here to praise you, last row.
Yeah.
She's the only one that is still dropping bangers, hits, albums. If this next one is top to bottom the same as the others, she deserves a statue in every goddamn city at this point. And whatever juice she's on, give it to every other musician, because they're failing right now. And I know you're excited. What date does the Taylor Swift album come out?
It's like
The
7 days from now.
7 days. Very specific.
I think it was the 21st, right?
Man, my ticker said
Maybe, I
6 hours and 59
Yeah,
minutes.
it drops October 21st, 2022.
7 days. Well,
8
8 days. 8 crazy nights. Yeah.
Now, how many times have you seen her in concert?
Yeah. How many times have you seen her in concert? Only twice. Well, because the tickets are expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
We own a ticket company, drinkingbrostickets.com. The most expensive tickets on the website there's 2 shows: Taylor Swift, Garth Brooks. And it's like, hey, dude. Oh, and Morgan Wallen, actually. Morgan Wallen last year was the highest tickets I've seen, because a buddy of mine calls. People will only reach out and be like, hey, dude, I want to take my kids or whatever to X, and I'll try to help out if I can. Morgan Wallen, they wanted to go in Nashville, and I was like, it was like 5 nights in a row too. Dude, you could not get a last row ticket for Morgan Wallen in Nashville at their arena. This wasn't like a fucking small intimate venue at an arena. It was $646, and I was like, holy shit.
Do we send last row
To Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift in the last row.
Okay,
though?
so
or is
Bob-
that the only time we put him front row?
Top with like flange on it.
Yes.
All right, so Bob,
Maybe we
when
go
is Taylor
front
Swift in
row.
Austin? Because I think we'll all go.
It'll be the only time we put last row front row.
front row, yeah. Well, those front row tickets, I guarantee you, for in Austin too, because it's all Californians here, it's going to be like $1,500. But you've earned it. When
I don't
when
know
is
that
she
she's
coming
been
here?
to Austin in a
It's
while.
worth
I had to
it.
go see her in Houston last time I saw her. So at Minute Maid. So I don't know that she's.
I'll go to Houston. Where's she coming next? Because she's going to do a tour after the album comes out.
All right, she announced a stadium tour.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm on page 6 trying to look at internet's being done.
Just type in Taylor Swift tour on Google.
I did.
Okay.
Do you
It's
have
not-
to go to work? Do you have time to hang? Oh, okay.
Oh, perfect. Taylor Swift tour. Oh, is it 2023? It says.
Yeah. So it's for midnights.
Yes,
Right.
it's for Midnights. It's for the new album, which makes sense, obviously.
Right.
Let's look at these tour dates and see what we got here
I don't know that she's announced yet.
for Miss Swifty.
Oh, she just said she was doing
She
one.
said she's going on tour.
Yeah,
We don't
I
have
don't
the
know
dates
that,
yet.
Yeah, we don't have
Probably
dates
not
yet for it.
dates.
Okay. Oh,
But
fuck.
it'll be all the big boys.
Elton John's going back out on tour, bro.
He's got a new hit.
He's got a new hit.
Holy shit, he retired, man, and all those people paid a gajillion dollars, and it's like, well, fuck
He
it.
was on tour the other day. Remember?
I
I
know.
showed you the clip of him celebrating the Braves because
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
a
yeah.
huge Braves fan.
Lord,
true.
everybody knows that, right?
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah. It's
Is he?
strange. Yes, he
no,
is.
it's
Oh, it's
Totally
true?
true.
actually bizarre. Like
Yeah.
he is a humongous Atlanta Braves fan.
Yeah. Yeah. Super strange. But back in the day, they only showed 2 teams, Braves and Cubs, all over television. So if you wanted to put on a sporting event, you were stuck
Oh,
with
yeah,
that.
he did have that sparkly little baseball suit.
Sure
that one
did.
time.
Remember? Yep. Came out with it. We had a baseball bat over his shoulder. And it was soft. It was a soft baseball bat, you know? It was a flaccid one. Wasn't
was
a
a
hard
dildo,
bat.
yeah.
Yeah. It was just a rock hard dildo
Just a
there.
rock hard
Dildo
rubber dildo bat.
Yeah. And by the way, after the romance novels for dudes dropped yesterday, I got a call from Taylor's dog, and I thought, oh, and they were like, hey, we'd love to sponsor the show. I was like, great. That'd be
So,
awesome. I was
is it
like,
natural dog food? Is it kind of like the take out of the fridge?
that's what I thought.
Sure. What
Maybe
is
some fun flirty dog bowls. Maybe you could put the
all natural ingredients?
yeah,
and-
put some initials on there, or the dog's name and a couple paw prints or something like that.
Yeah.
Turns out it is a suction dildo. So the top part actually latches onto your clit, and then it sucks your
Sucking
clitoris.
action, yeah.
And then there's a bottom dildo part that it bends, and then you go down in the description, and it bends so you can put it in your vagina or your asshole.
Okay.
And I thought that was a nice thing, and it was
Yeah.
$89.95, and I said, well. You called the right guy,
Right.
because we're definitely into some stuff like that. And if you want to send one our way, that's fine. Let's go.
Taylor's dog.
Just don't know why they named the company that.
Just to test your loyalty, right?
Or is it a lap
'cause-
dog? Like, was that the joke of it? Like, it's a very nice dildo, by the way. I don't know if. Well, they're not a sponsor yet, so let's not bring them up yet. But
Yeah, no.
I did see that, and that was
I'm
their
sure it's
go-to,
great.
and
Yeah.
it might be the only product they sell, by the way.
Sounds like it, right? Like that's the dog. The one dog.
I don't know, but can you get away with that as just one toy? Well, I guess Fleshlight did it, right?
Fleshlight.
He made a gajillion
rabbit.
dollars. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe you can. Shit. Maybe if you just make the best one, then
Yeah, I
you
think
win.
you put all your. I think that's the way to do it. Is like put all your eggs in one basket, because if you spread it out,
yeah, you're fucked.
then it's kind of like, well,
Yeah.
which one? And it's like, nope, this one. I promise you, right? Scientifically proven. Just buy it. Shut up.
Kevin Hart, by the way, is 45 tour dates. Kevin, you've got so much money, dude. Just enjoy your family for a little bit, you know? My God, man.
It may be like a Brady sitch. Like I need to. He does have a lot of kids.
He
right?
sure does.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they're young.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not amped about traveling. You know, we do it, but I'm not amped
Right.
about it. Like these guys, Jesus, man. Giselle's seeing a spiritual healer now in Miami. She doesn't have the ring on anymore. So this is real. This is really going down now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And she said, I'm looking for somebody with consistency. Don't think Giselle's probably going to have
Oh, by
a
the way,
problem
she's not
finding
looking
that.
for anyone right now, but she's just sending messages to Tom.
Oh, via Instagram?
I kind of feel like I don't know if it's really going to happen or if it's just like, hey, dude, I'm fucking serious.
Right.
Right. And then I'm going to send you little messages like, I just need some consistency in my life.
And then if I'm Tom,
Right, I
I
need
just go
someone
to
that-
I just go to Instagram and write, cool. I'm in week 6 of the season right now. So.
I consistently win. bitch.
Yeah. We're in a playoff hunt here.
Right.
It'd be awesome if he goes, you know how weak this division is that I'm in, right? Like, we're definitely going to win the division again this year. So, would you shut the fuck up? But
Yeah, that'd
that's
be
probably not going to
nice.
happen, you know?
Yeah, that'd be
Well,
nice
no,
of
but
him.
just to Instagram, right? We don't know who he's talking to.
Sure.
Just a nice
Just
post
do
with
it,
words.
Do it like a good friends only post.
Yeah.
And then just have her be the only friend on the list.
Because when you do that, it usually works out, and everybody's amped about it. Same with Kanye. Crazy story last night. I don't know if you saw this, but his bank is actually saying, we're all done with you, and you can find another bank for your billions of dollars, which has never happened in the history of banks.
I got to tell you, that's not going to help with the Jew talk.
Seriously. And this is
that
like,
was the first thing that I thought.
I know why they're doing it, because he's insane and a piece of shit. But in Kanye's mind,
Yep.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
is
boy.
that is
You
exactly
are
what he's talking about. You're
fueling-
really living up to the stereotype at that point. Probably wouldn't have done that, J.P. Morgan.
Sure.
But they did, and he posted it of just kind of like laughter. And when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, well, I guess I'd be laughing too if I was moving $2.6 billion to another bank. Or it was like, oh, great, I'm sure they're just lined up for that money.
Sure.
Yeah, it would be great if he just went somewhere local.
It was
Like
just
one of
like a
those-
super small, and he just like
credit
brings it in,
Yeah.
and they're like,
Yeah.
like take it to like Marble Falls. Or
They would
something.
cry. I think they would cry. Exactly. They would just openly weep if he takes it to Johnson City.
Yeah.
You know, he takes it to Lubbock, Texas, and just walks in and he's like, look, I need a place to stash $2.7 billion. I'm like, I don't know. Screaming at the employees, put on Jesus Walks.
Yeah.
Put on Jesus Walks. We're
Right.
huge Kanye fans.
Right.
We fucking love you. But yeah, I thought the same thing when I saw that last night. I was like, oh boy, if you're trying to beat the stereotype, the bank is not the one you're shutting down first.
Well, but the bank's not run by Jewish people.
What's up?
The bank's not run by Jewish people.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
the
what
CEO
year.
is James Dimon. He is not Diamond, Demon, whatever. He's Greek.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
So, but he'll just see that and be like, well, he's controlled by Jews. So
Yes. I mean,
it's fine.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot of other people that work there.
Yeah, look, it's
Besides-
not.
Oh, 100%. But
Greek
the
guy.
old trope and the old stereotype is,
He's gonna run with it.
yeah, Jews control the money and banks and all that other stuff. Like he's going to run with that. So, yeah, if they let him back on social media, which I don't know that he's back yet, because that message had to go through Candace Owens. She was the one that posted it last night. So I don't think he's got any of his social media back whatsoever. And might be a good thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Every time he spirals out, he's hanging out with Candace Owens.
She might be the only one left who's trying to rein him back in. Who knows? Who knows?
I'm saying the only time he spins out and says things he shouldn't say is when he's hanging out with Candace Owens.
I think it's the after, right? You got to go to Candace Owens afterwards to be like talked down from the ledge, maybe. Because he was at the fashion show beforehand, and then he met up with her.
No,
She's
he's
got a
been like
premiere of a
talking
movie.
with. I guess he's been talking with her a lot, and before that, his first little like inkling of those leanings was on like I think TMZ way back in the day. He did this interview.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he was referencing Candace Owens, that he's been talking to her a lot, and just being like, you know, that's when the first of his sort of problematic things started. Not problematic, but what you don't associate with him.
Right.
Things started happening was with her.
Things.
And so here we go again.
Sure.
Just saying.
Okay.
Great gal, though.
I've
Great
never
gal.
met her. Have you?
Me
Have you met her?
neither.
Okay. All right. We've done shows.
I'm just scared of her, so I'm saying great gal.
We've done shows over there, and everybody there. Well, this is when she was at the Blaze. I think she's at Daily Wire now.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody at the Blaze loved her. They were like nicest person ever to work with and a joy. But I don't know her in real life. I have no idea.
Right.
I think she's got a white husband.
She does.
Yeah. So, you know, who knows? Who knows? You know. Do you get a crime corner, James?
I do.
Crime corner.
Crime Corner. This is for you guys. You know, sometimes I like to make you real uncomfortable about your penises. Sex attacker has his penis and testicles hacked off and fed to pigs
Oh boy.
by victim's boyfriend.
Okay.
What are
in
you
Brazil.
oh-boying, mister? We need to behet people who don't work?
No.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, oh boy, way to tie this all together. Like, this is great.
Right?
Yes.
Right.
This is, it couldn't be any more perfect. Because we don't chat about, Bob, we don't chat about Crime Corner before we come on. So I like to hear it fresh. The fact that this is it today, can we get some applause for that? That's the best segue of all time. Holy
It's
shit.
a fun one. It's a
Yeah.
fun one.
No
We've
applause
got
out of
all
you.
the we've got all the elements,
Yes,
right?
yes, we do.
That you want.
Let's go.
36-year-old man who has not been named sparked widespread anger in Brazil over, this is not the good part, but he allegedly tried to rape his niece. And from that, two men and like the family and everyone around him got super pissed off, obviously, and wanted revenge.
Yep.
So the two men allegedly attacked the man, cut off his penis and testicles before reportedly feeding pigs with the genitalia, which if we learned anything from Snatch, they'll just eat it right up. Nothing left.
Right. So let me ask you this. Did they do it in front of the man? Because that's the only thing that I, like, let's really do it.
In front of what man?
The guy. Like, if you're going to chop off his dick and balls and then feed it to pigs, I would want him to watch it.
I don't know if
would want him to
the
watch it.
pig feeding happened in front of him. Reportedly furious with the attempted rape, allegedly asked the uncle, this is the guy that is accused and has no penis and balls anymore.
Okay.
They asked the uncle to join them in a nearby sugarcane field where they planned to neuter pigs. So I think that's like how they got him there.
Great.
They're like, come on, we're gonna fucking neuter some pigs, right?
Yeah.
Just normal shit.
Have a fun Tuesday.
And then when he arrived at the field, the two men attacked him instead. And
Great.
after beating him unconscious, they removed the sex detectors.
Great.
And then through the genitalia to the pigs, he was beat up and unconscious. So I don't know how much of it.
That's my only gripe then. He should have been awake for it and had to watch it.
He eventually came around, woke up,
Yep.
and managed to struggle home while he was bleeding profusely. Doctors managed to stop the bleeding before taking the man in an ambulance to a nearby hospital. And surgeons said that there's nothing that they can do to reattach the worker's penis and testicles after the genitalia was reportedly thrown to the pigs and eaten. So, they really...
I love it. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of this.
I love it too.
Talked about it earlier. And then you learn, right? In this village, this will probably not happen for a very long time, because this story will then circulate, just like the olden times where it was like, oh, hey, did you hear about that one guy? He tried to rape that kid, and then all of a sudden, boom, he got his dick and balls chopped off and then fed to pigs while he was unconscious and they couldn't reattach anymore. So now he doesn't have a penis.
Yeah, they were able to reconstruct his urinary tract, though. So he has
that's just a tube.
He has a little hole there that
he can put some paper mache around it, create his own dick.
He's got a dribbler.
Yeah.
It's not
that's
so
what
much
he deserves.
Extreme. I think he's definitely sitting down.
Yep.
now.
So all in. I'm for it.
There you go.
It's
How
great.
about we don't try raping?
Exactly. That was a great one. It was a perfect tie-in to today. How did you know that?
I
didn't?
don't know. I didn't know.
Okay.
I didn't
We never
know.
know.
Never
We never
know.
know on the show.
Never
That's
know.
great. And who made the Crime Corner sticker on the back of your computer? Was
that
in the
was
bro
in
box?
the bro box.
That's dope,
Yeah, so you
dude.
got the sticker, blanket,
Yeah.
wine glass.
Yeah. Big fan.
Yeah, it was a fun one.
It is a fun one. We got a crazy fucking fake news today. A lot has gone on in the world, and it's going to be a banger this afternoon on the old network. If you get a notification, we'll see.
Oh.
We'll see.
Well, they know. When do you go up around
2. Well, yeah, 3 Eastern, 2 here. So when we're pretty right on time with that one. Whenever it's a guest, it's hit and miss. We're like, is this fucker going to be late or not, or what's going to happen here?
Right.
But when it's us, it's pretty consistent, I think. Maybe off by 10, 15. That's about it, you know. Lopez going to get some seltzer, going to party.
Party.
And then when T Swift drops the album, I'm going to call you and we'll go over it together, and I'll let you know if it's good or bad. I'll be crying. I'm sure you will.
Oh, I know
you
it's
will.
going to be one of those. We're just going to stay home, listen to it, cry.
Pour myself a glass of wine.
Yeah, a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Did you go to Psalm school after you got the tattoo? After you did? Did you end up going?
I'm in school right now.
Yeah, you're in the school right now. Yeah. So I mean, he's gonna know a great pairing with the new Taylor Swift album.
Oh,
you know what I'm
so
saying?
good.
It's probably gonna be a cab, I would imagine, right?
Do you have any kids? Do you have any kids? When
Yeah,
you have
well,
a
not that he
child,
knows of.
I need you to get on my level and have Taylor Swift playing as the child is born.
Oh,
Did you?
Did you really?
Yeah.
In the hospital?
Yeah.
You had music playing?
Yeah.
Who did that?
Were you in
We
charge
brought
of
our
the
own speaker and music was playing the whole time. Evermore or whatever was playing the whole fucking time.
Really?
Really?
You didn't ask for any of that stuff.
Nah, I asked for drugs, and that's about it.
Yep. Yeah.
I went as far as can I not be
Like here.
conscious?
Yeah. And it was pretty close on the last one.
Yeah.
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 But it was very quick. Was it 3 pushes? And then you were like, is the baby out? I'm on drugs.
Fentanyl's fucking rad, dude. I mean, if you know you're taking
doing it right.
if you know you're
doing
taking
it
it in the
right.
care of a doctor,
Was it the care of the doctor? Because we didn't find out until afterwards that you had the fentanyl.
yeah, but they brought me back to life after. Remember when my freaking temperature was too low, and they're like, you might die," and I'm like, "Well, my blood will be on your hands," and they were like, Did that all really happen?
Afterwards.
Yeah, I think it did.
Afterwards, because you couldn't feel your legs.
No, it was
and you
fucked up,
And
dude.
you were like, hey, It's been 3 hours since I've had the baby, and I can't feel I can't walk. I mean, you couldn't even walk.
And my temperature was very low.
Yeah.
So they were like freaking out, but like not wanting to like. Let's just check again.
Well, that's when I
Let's
overheard
just
in the background the
check
nurses
again.
talking. They were like, "Did she get the epidural? Did she
The
get the fentanyl
fentanyl
one, the
epidural?
trial one?" When they said the trial one, I was like, "Hey, do you want to tell us that we were getting that?" And
That's
then,
not how
she
it
goes,
works,
"We
I
don't know.
Yeah,
We never know." And I was like, "Oh, great. The humans don't know."
the only way to get the accurate
Results.
results.
And I go, awesome. Well, the results of that one are that she can't move.
Sure.
So good or
that my
bad?
body temperature is
Good if she comes back to life. Bad if she ends up dying. So
Yeah.
I'm going to save that
My
survey
blood is
till
on-
the end.
My blood will be on your hands.
Yeah, I think you said that a lot.
Yeah, sure.
My blood will be on your hands.
So they brought me back to life. Good for them.
Yeah. And we're proud of you.
Yeah.
It's a nice crime corner, though, to end it today.
Thanks.
And
Just a
we
little
appreciate you guys.
Sex attacker revenge. I love it.
Happens all the time.
Love it.
Tale as old as time.
Sure.
And if you're out there for Halloween and you're carving open your pumpkins, check for some meth. We learned that today.
Be careful.
Be careful. There could be 45
Good luck. We'll
pounds
be
of
like-
meth inside your pumpkin.
Yeah. It'll be like finding a golden ticket. Do you know what I mean? Thank God. Oh, wait. No, that's Mom's pumpkin.
That's Mom's pumpkin.
No. You can have this one.
You can have the smaller
Yeah.
one. I got to hop on over to the meth pumpkin.
What are all those little baggies? in there?
Baggies, nothing.
They're slimy.
Yep. Just quiet down, Johnny.
Oh, no.
Yep, that's Mommy's pumpkin. I'll be back to help you with yours, but I need to clean this off, obviously wash it, and then test it before, and then obviously ingest a little bit, and then I'll help you with your pumpkin. That's how that works, okay? That's Drug Pumpkins. Go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also go to Spotify, and that's just a 5-star, and then you can just walk away. And it's great. A lot of people have been sending in pictures from Spotify where it's just a 5-star, and I'm like, isn't it awesome? You don't have to write anything.
Right.
It's rad. So just do that. All the advertisers give a shit about, and it helps. Damn it. Happy little Friday.
Thanks, man.
We're out of here, dude. Pop into fake news here, starting in about 45 minutes. Looking forward to that. It's going to be an absolute banger today, so stay on the network in case you don't get a notification. We'll be here for Jesse Weissman, a.k.a. The Jables. I'm Ross Patterson. This is The Revolucion. Buenos tardes, everyone.
Good afternoon.